when they perp walk, it's a celebration for them.
That's a martyr. I mean,
Right.
and plus, what about this administration would make you think that they're not going to take this seriously? I mean, they literally just deported a professor who attended a funeral of a top Hezbollah official. Like, they're not playing around.
Remember that guy whose name we forgot lit himself on fire?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember.
I remember his name.
I remember his name, but I'm not going to say it.
Same.
I don't remember. I recommend people not immolate themselves like this. Why would someone do that?
The guy who did it outside the Trump trial?
There's been like seven of them, by the way, in the past year and a half.
What was it? It was over Israel, right?
Yeah.
Was
it over Israel?
There was an Israel guy, yeah.
So when I think we pulled this up yesterday and we talked about it, there was a guy who vandalized a bunch of Tesla chargers and set fires and then spray painted "Long Live Ukraine." And I'm like, this guy doesn't know where Ukraine is on a map. 3 years ago, he didn't know Ukraine existed. What drove him so insane? And that's the point. With the stuff that we're seeing, if you say we're gonna arrest him and Trump's gonna come in, they will cheer for this. We're talking about people who have nothing in their lives. They have no faith. They have no purpose. They have no moral structure. They want only to appear in the videos displayed in front of other people. Here's an example. You guys ever see any of the thousands of videos where a guy will take 2 milk jugs in a Walmart, dump them all over himself, slam them on the ground, and then scream, what was that? I'm a big, beautiful baby or something? Something like this?
Just, it doesn't really matter what they scream.
Well,
apparently.
when
These people are so desperate for attention of any kind. These are the kind of things they're willing to do. So if Trump comes in and arrests them, they're going to be crossing their fingers, please, Perp Moggy, please, please, please. And all the leftists will film them and cheer for them and encourage more.
Like Luigi Mangione.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, so then do you have an opinion as to what should be done?
I've been saying this. Phil, you've been saying this. There's no off-ramp. To quote the great Phil Labonte, you said this 2 years ago, last year, there's no off-ramp. And that's kind of the point I'm making. The action you take to stop the violence will be used as a weapon because it makes them feel good.
Right,
So
it makes
you
them
can't
feel like they're over the target.
and you can't do nothing because they're the instigators.
Well, putting them in jail forever makes me feel good.
Agreed. So I'm not saying don't lock them up.
to El Salvador.
I am saying
Guantanamo Bay.
Gee, yeah, get Mo, man.
Hi.
why not?
I love the idea.
We're talking about people who are committing acts of terrorism.
Yeah.
So
Fine. Go with other terrorists.
Bring waterboarding back, man.
let me tell
Of
you.
course, the same people
Where's
who say
Dick
that.
Cheney when you need him?
I know, right?
Why did we drive him out of the party again?
We were talking about religion the other day and moral philosophies with Eleazar. That was really fascinating. And this morning I decided to do an assessment on the whole Sam Cedar video with Eleazar and how Sam had a decade to Google search utilitarianism and didn't do it, which kind of blew my mind. Because I debated him like 7 years ago, and he said, "I don't know what that is." And I'm like, "Okay."
And he never figured
He
it out?
never looked it up. He never. So anyway,
What a
I
hard
digress.
concept.
In this conversation, we were talking about the requirement of moral tradition and moral foundations for a nation, and I got to thinking about this balance between your principles and war. We were discussing things like war between good and evil, and you know what I just said? I thought to myself, I don't care anymore. Look, you're not going to win a debate with a man who's intent on breaking into your home to murder and rape you. Like a guy kicks your door and screaming, "You're evil and you're a demon and I've come for you." You can't be like, "Well, have a seat, sir. Let's debate this. I have rights."
No, you can't do much with a guy like that.
But we're dealing with a left that is burning down Tesla facilities, shooting guns into Tesla vehicles. These are people who have previously taken over parts of cities. What debate do we think we're going to win with these people?
And it's incredibly ironic, by the way, because that same group of people does subscribe, at least vocally, to the theory that you can talk people down from committing acts of violence, because this is the group of people that wants to send social workers along with police officers to
restorative
respond to
justice.
people who are having mental health crises and are likely to turn violent, and then they make the situation worse.
I'm not sure if they even believe that it's going to that it actually is going to work. I think that they just don't want to see police doing things. They don't want to tell people no.
Maybe.
They don't want to have the police.
I've
actually
sat on a
police
show
to
with
enforce
some
the law.
people who are actually dumb enough to think that that's real.
They do want police, though. When something happens to them, they want police.
Yeah, there's
right away.
a viral video from I think 2018 was the Seattle cops Antifa attacked a guy, He was backing away from them. He didn't fight them, and the cops grabbed him and arrested him and apologized to Antifa. And I kept telling these conservatives, like, why are you back in the blue? Like, in where you live, maybe, but not in Seattle. These are all Democrat-appointed guys. And then it wasn't until COVID lockdowns that people on the right started stepping on the thin blue line flag and saying,
Right.
screw this.
Well, there was
because
this crazy story we covered at the Daily Caller of this FBI agent, I believe he was. I'd have to double check my work on that, but he was fired under the Biden administration because he refused to execute a search warrant against Patriot Front because they were trying to basically up their stats on hate crimes. And Patriot Front went to this protest of like Drag Queen Story Hour or something and didn't engage in any acts of violence, were totally peaceful. But the Biden administration nonetheless fabricated the details in the search warrant. The search warrant itself actually just got released today through a court order because this guy sued. And they just made things up and gave it to the FBI agents and said, you need to go execute this and arrest these members of Patriot Front. And the guy said, no, this is bogus. And they canned him.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that story. But I mean, look, I have very little problem with rounding these people up and throwing them in jail. And I don't, whether or not there is going to be a positive result for the nation by doing that, I'm less concerned. I just want to see these people punished for being the garbage that they are.
I would say that I would feel sort of differently about the whole thing if you didn't have leftist pundits, commentators, and politicians backing the, arsonists, agitators.
I want to put them in jail too.
Yeah, but like that's the thing that I find really troubling. It's not just that there's this undercurrent of violence, it's that it's being actually boosted and encouraged by the leaders on that side.
Yeah,
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.